Grand Rising and priming powerful beings. Shout out to you. It's the Holistic Motivator. This is the official start of Rise and Prime. Started like this every single day. Rise and Prime is a powerful rising routine to start your day positively with mental health check-in, mindful movement, personal development, and affirmations. We do something called Qigong, which is energy cultivation. We learn how to breathe, how to restore balance to your organs, how to circulate vital qi, jing qi, how to transmute your limiting or negative emotional states to empowering one. This is a holistic system to not just improve your mental health, but also improve your physical health, your emotional health, and also I bring the spiritual aspect to it as well. I believe in Christ, so that's what fuels, when I talk about spirituality, that's what fuels it. However, this is inclusive and exclusive, which means I stay true to what I believe in, but everybody doesn't have to believe in what I believe in. So I share, to my best ability, some spiritual principles along the way to help you grow. And today we're just going to talk about entering 2023 with a holistic approach to wellness. Entering 2023 with a holistic approach to wellness is understanding that everything works together. Everything works together. Nothing works separately. The word says everything works together for the greater good. Well, everything works together, and we could make it greater from good if we decide to be intentional and conscious about what's happening in our body, how we eat, how we move, how we think, and how we feel. So shout out to everybody. Happy Gregorian New Year, right? Spring is when I'm gonna start doing the vision boards and the goal setting and we're gonna do that in the spring, right? However, I still say Happy New Year because guess what? Just because we got into some information and we know about, okay, we're into cycles, we're in the cycles of the moon, and we're in the cycles of these seasons, it doesn't mean that our society is not ran by a calendar, right? So I'm courteous to everybody, and at the same time, I do recognize that it's still a new year technically. So 2023 is going to be amazing. So I'm going to talk about it in that format. It's like you have to know, but then you also have to know what world you live in, and you can't just exit the world just because you stepped into some information. Okay, so let's get into it, y'all. I want y'all to comment in the chat. I'm going to take a holistic approach in 2023, right? I'm going to take a holistic approach in 2023. What does that mean? A holistic approach means that I won't do things for results. I'm going to make my way I'm going to make myself in a way where everything is working together for my good, right? I'm not necessarily going to set goals because I'm looking at the end point. I'm going to structure a lifestyle so that way I'm the beginning point. Now, I just want you to think about when I say that. I'm not going to do everything for an end goal or end point. I'm going to change my lifestyle so that I can make sure that I'm the beginning point of wellness, of vitality, of financial, like all of it comes together, whether it's your financial health, your emotional health, your relational health. Everything is going to affect everything else. How you eat affects everything else, right? While most people think, okay, how I eat is really going to affect whether I lose weight or gain weight or put on weight or have a big booty or have abs or muscles, right? How we eat also affects your emotions. How you eat also affects your connection to God. How you eat literally affects your cells and your body and your mood, right? And your ability to create in the world, right? So that's just one way of looking at it, how you eat. How you feel is it's not even morality, right? How you feel affects how you heal, right? How you feel affects how much of yourself you show up. Everything affects everything else. So shout out to Alicia. Appreciate you. Yeah, definitely y'all share, like if you're watching, but everything is going to affect everything else, right? So one of the major things that we want to know is everything affects everything else. We don't do things for the end goal. We do it so we can be the beginning point of wellness. And one of the major ways you could transform your life is to be conscious about your life, to be conscious of the cycles, to be conscious of what's going on. So we have, like, you go through a cycle in an hour. You go through a cycle in a day. You go through a cycle in a week. You go through a cycle every month. I mean, for women, they actually go through a cycle, right? You go through a cycle every 3 months, every 6 months, every 12 months, every year, every 3 years, 6 years, 12 years, right? So So we have some longer cycles where every 4 years or 6 years you might have a major improvement, or if you're not conscious, the cycles don't go by improvement, they actually go by repetition, right? So when you're conscious about your life, your cycles go every these amount I actually get better. When you're unconscious about it and you're kind of coasting through it, or what Napoleon Hill calls drifting through it, you kind of just suffer the consequences of that unconsciousness, right? So what I do as a coach, as a healer, as a motivator, is I remind you of the cycles. One, at the same time, I give you the information and inspiration to change the cycles, right? And one of the major things that we can call that process is healing, right? Healing is the process of constantly transforming the cycles that you're going through, right? So one of the books that we're reading right now, as we start off the year, is actually Healing the Tao, Healing Love Through the Tao, and it's about transmuting your sexual energy, right? I've been getting a calling to talk to the people about like just your sexual energy and how to transmute that from your Jing into Shin, right? How to transmute from just your body focus to your spirit focus, right? So we got 3 fields in Chinese medicine we talk about: the Jing, the Qi, and the Shin. The Jing, the Qi, and the Shin. And one of the major things that we do to do that is, as we cultivate our Jing energy, we know how to transmute it into life force energy, Qi, and then convert it into Shin, right? So when we breathe and do the Qigong, all of that helps you with that process, okay? So I will be doing a little bit more talking and inspiration, but before we get into that, since we're still in the calendar year and everybody may be thinking about goals, I really urge you to look at this as still winter, a moment of reflection, inflection. Also, your jobs are going to be calling you to have first quarter. These are the first quarter goals. Some like society is going to pull you towards activeness. And by all means, if you work for anybody and they have goals, you're going to have to align with the goals. And don't get it wrong. Just because we're in winter, yet it's the beginning of the year, it does not mean that we don't have goals. In fact, we have goals every single day, every single week, right? Which means we don't wait till New Year anyways to have goals. We don't wait for New Year anyways to change our lifestyle. We don't wait for New Year to think about eating healthy. We should be doing that constantly, right? So therefore, it's not something that you should feel, oh, man, they're doing it. No. We're working in a society, and you have to show up in the society as if you're dedicated. If somebody says, I'm going to pay you to give me these results and these goals, you can't be like, well, I'm in my feelings, I'm reflecting right now. I can't do that. Nah. It don't work like that. It don't work like that. So we live in a society where even if you have your own perspectives and the ways that you're going about your life in your personal way, you still have to be responsible. And responsibility says I'm not just going to respond on my emotions. I'm going to respond based on logic and what is needed. At the same time, for me and my temple, right? I like to say that for me and my temple, for me and my life, these are some of the things that I'm going to focus on, right? So does that mean that right now you shouldn't be thinking about structuring a lifestyle? I'm saying right now shouldn't be a point where it's the only time you're thinking about it. It should be constant. So of course you're gonna be thinking about structuring a lifestyle. Does that mean you shouldn't be setting goals just because it's not the new year yet? Nah, you should always be setting goals to get yourself to a new level. But what I mean by that is give yourself grace and give yourself space. That's the major thing here. Give yourself grace and give yourself space, and understand that everything does not have to come to you right now, right? You don't have to have everything figured out right now. Your visions don't have to transform right now, okay? So it's going to be a constant renewal of the mind, body, and spirit, okay? So with that being said, what are some dedications that you want to make to your lifestyle this year, okay? So holistic lifestyle says I'm going to look at everything as a whole. I'm not doing things for the ending point. I'm going to make myself the starting point of wholeness, okay? And I'm going to make God the head of that, okay? So one of the things is making yourself the starting point of wholeness does not mean you omit the creator from the process. It just means that you take the responsibility for yourself, and you also give it to God. You co-create with the creator. You co-create with God, okay? So one thing is to be intentional about your life, but another thing is to be intuition. Is to tap into your intuition as God communicates to you about your life. As you're very intentional about what you want to do and what you want to accomplish, you also want to to allow God to work through you and tell you what to do. I've been saying it over and over the last week or so. Yo, as I said a lot of times we just focus on our plans, that we don't focus on what God has planned for us. And the only plan God has for you is to prosper you, right? God wants to see you your best version. God wants to use you for his will as well. And his will is going to be in alignment with your best version. His will is going to be in alignment with prospering you, right? Even in the moment where you feel like, man, this is bringing me pain, it's actually building you, right? The pain is actually a process to allow you to step into purpose. Even the things that go wrong in your life, God learns how to, all of that thing works for your greater good, right? So when we have our mindset changes, when our soul set is connected, when we're spirit led and not body led, then we say, okay, God, if this is what you want to do through me, I'm gonna help you in the process, right? So let's say somebody says, okay, boom, my sexual energy, this is something I need to kind of transform. This is something I need to work on because I'm too much in my body, less in my spirit. Then we get the education on how to transform that. If you find out your health or you're not eating healthily and you're like, man, I want to have more peace and clarity and soundness, and my spirit I don't want to be living in limiting emotional states. All of that is going to allow God to do what God was going to do through you. So holistic living, holistic lifestyle is not omitting God from the process. It's actually recognizing the God in you and staying strong in that. And you're able to utilize, you're not just using, God is not just helping you, but you're helping yourself, right? So somebody says, is that self-help? Well, you could call it that, but we don't want to just do self-help without God's help, right? Because one of the major things that we try to go on is an information where we're actually spiritual beings having a physical experience, right? We're also spiritual beings having experience in the carnal, right? So yeah, we're going to need to personally develop. You're going to need to buy these books. You're going to need to step on the books so you can see over your limiting beliefs. You're going to need to, because literally, God's just not going to give you everything you need right in your spirit. He's going to open up your heart, soften your heart, and create something inside of you that says, man, I ought to seek for the information. Seek and you shall find, right? That's why the word says wisdom is actually better than silver and gold, right? Wisdom and understanding. So God will bless you with wisdom, but you have to always seek understanding. It's like, let me give you an example about that. It's like literally God says, here's a manual full of wisdom, right? But if you don't read it and seek for understanding of what that means, and sometimes you need to have people who have experiences. Sometimes it may be a preacher, it may be a teacher, it may be a book, it may be a course. If you don't actually seek understanding of it, right? And I always say nothing new is created under the sun. I didn't come up with that. That's in the word. And literally, if I just told you that in whatever other format, if I said there was nothing new, there's really no new information, it's kind of recycled, it's still going to be in the word. So everything comes in the word. And what people do in their spirits is they change it and they don't change it, they transform it and put it into various words and longer forms of words, and then they apply it into specific circumstances. That's why they give examples and strategies and all of those things. I'm not saying everything is rooted from the word, but even if something that you might say, man, this has nothing to do with God, I'm telling you, wisdom is not changed up. Because sometimes you read a book and you're like, man, that book, yep, that makes sense. If you feel it in your spirit, there's a truth to it, right? Truth has a resonance, a frequency that you can almost feel as additive truths. Just like false truths also may seem true, but they're not always true, right? We're not gonna get to the deepness of that. But with that being said, y'all, it's important this year to seek understanding. But more than understanding, which is standing under ideas, standing under principles and knowledge, is understanding. And understanding is an intuitive process. Understanding is something that we say, in the holistic wellness field or whatever you want to call it. Understanding is really understanding and understanding from inside of you, letting your spirit communicate to you. It's more of a not just IQ, but it's EQ, developing emotional intelligence, right? The more emotional intelligence that you have, EQ, the more you'll actually be able to sustain your internal world, because your external world is just a representation of your internal world. So we must learn how to balance the feminine and the masculine, right? Our emotional energy, our yang and our yin energy. We must learn how to balance not just our yang and yin energy, but our dominant and recessive traits. We must learn how to balance a lot of when we are currently active and doing stuff and creating stuff versus when we are understanding the stuff that's stuffing us and freeing ourselves from it every single day. So one of the major things we can do is moving, breathing is going to be is a great process of understanding. Standing still is one of the greatest ways to not be pulled with all the things that you have to do, which become stresses, right? Or you wake up and you're like, bro, I got this obligation, I got to do this for work, I got to do this, and I got to do this for my business, and I have my kids to take care of, or I have this bag to make. Like, that's the yin, that's the masculine, right? And whether you're male or female, a man or woman, a king or queen, empress or emperor, it's all connected. We have both energies working in us, right? And when we learn how to balance that energy, we're taking a holistic approach, right? So that's what the holistic lifestyle is all about. That's what the holistic lifestyle tribe is all about. It's about bringing that to you in a format where you could digest it every single day. We're gonna get to breathing, but one of the major things that I say is it's a daily walk to heal. It's a daily walk to heal, right? It's not like, bro, some people think I go to one workshop, one seminar, I read a book, and I'm healed. No, it's gonna be a daily walk to heal. In that walk, you're gonna have to make decisions. In that walk, you're gonna have to have certain habits. In that walk, you're gonna have to have certain practices. In that walk, you're gonna have to have certain routines. In that walk, you're gonna have to have various things that come together to help you prosper, right? So it's a daily walk to heal. So one of the ways that I walk with people, right? And I'm in the word David. David was the king, but God was like, man, you're gonna be a shepherd, right? So God kind of bestowed the same thing to me. Like, you're gonna be like a shepherd, right? You're not just going to be a teacher or a king, but you're gonna be a shepherd. You're gonna walk with people every single day. You're literally gonna be there with them. You're gonna grow with them. So that's kind of what I do as a coach, right? I'm not just like giving you information or giving you like a workbook, go work on that. I'm waking up with you. I'm like, let's rise and prime together. Let's breathe together. Let's dismantle the negative thoughts and emotional states together. Let's fast and detox together, okay? So upcoming, we're gonna do a detox and fast. That's kind of like what I do in the community. And that's what, when all the healers come together, when the seekers and the teachers and the motivators come together, we're able to do that for one another, okay? So I'm excited for 2023. I'm taking a holistic approach in 2023. Comment that real quick. I'm taking a holistic approach in 2023. I am taking a holistic approach in 2023, okay? I'm taking a holistic approach in 2023. Now, why would you want to take a holistic approach? Because once you take a holistic approach, you won't have to focus on the goals. You kind of just achieve them. It doesn't mean you don't keep on the forefront. It doesn't mean you don't work on them. Look, none of this means that you just go and sit underneath a tree and kumbaya all day, kumbaya, my goals will be true. No, you got to put in the work, right? But when you put a holistic approach, you don't, it's the law of non-resistance. Like, you're so in tune with the spiritual laws that you don't fight for stuff, right? There was a time where I was in a fighting mode, right? And we all have these seasons where sometimes we're in a fighting mode. We fight for everything. And we're like, man, I'm fighting for peace. I'm fighting for joy. I'm fighting for money. I'm fighting for, right? But it's a moment where you make yourself in a way where you already won the battle, right? You already won the fight, right? I want somebody to comment in the chat. I already won the battle. I already won the fight because I'm making myself in such a way where I'm a warrior by essence, right? It's a different, so it's like before you walk into it, you already won it. First, you have this unwavering faith, one. Second, you have this sort of like energy of attraction about you, two. Third, you kind of have this help from God that you can't even explain. Fourth, you kind of structure your routines and habits in a certain way where it's almost like it's not too much fighting because you're just living. Like, once it's just you, it's not too much fighting because you're living it. I had said something in one of my videos, and I said, I'm going to help people prosper, right? Somebody says, well, that's God's responsibility. Well, I told him, it was like, if you try to do that, you're gonna overextend yourself. And I was like, bro, I don't need to do too much to do that. I'm not making myself God. All I'm saying is I'm gonna be in my gift. And if I'm in my gift and I could show somebody how to breathe, that's gonna help them prosper. Not that that's gonna be an anxiety. If I'm in my gift and I'm being a motivational speaker, I'm gonna motivate you. All right, that's gonna help you. It's gonna help you. I'm not going to prosper you. It's a difference. Remember what I said? I said I'm gonna help you. Right? I'm not going to, oh my God. No, no, no. You see, if you're a healer, if you're a coach and a motivator, and I know a lot of you are watching, you cannot do that. You will never be able to do that. Everybody has to do their own healing. Everybody that has to do their own growing, right? You've never seen a mom said, well, I'm going to do my growing for my child. Right? They help them, right? They go to work and feed the kid. They give them emotional food, spiritual food, shelter, right? But they never say, oh, well, I'm going to make my kids successful. I'm going to help them in the process of it, right? So what we want to do as coach and healers is we have to first let God prosper you and live a life of prosperity where your very essence extends without much effort to help people, right? When you walk in a room or when you do a speech or a workshop, you're not giving anybody more than just that cup that's running over. It's kind of just spilling into people, right? So it didn't take me much effort, no memorization to talk what I'm doing now. I literally woke up this morning a little bit late. I woke up a little late today, and I was like, yo, I'm gonna be a blessing, right? Did it mean that I'm actually gonna go out of my way? No, I just have a routine and a structure. I showed up to the routine and the structure. That's how I'm a blessing. Right? So once you just step into your gift, when you step into your gift, you don't have to do too much. You just have to be enough. And what we always want to remember is you are enough, right? When you cultivate yourself in a way, you don't have to do too much. You just have to be enough because you are enough, right? And once you're being enough, your being is going to extend, it's going to empower, it's going to touch, it's going to reach, it's going to bless others. Right? Once your cup is full, it runs over into other people's lives. That's what God wants us to do, right? He wants our cups to be full so it could run over into people's lives. What depletes your cup? Limiting emotional states depletes your cup. What depletes your cup? Stagnation depletes your cup. A lot of things depletes your cup, right? So what we want to do is we want to fuel our cups. We want to fill our cups, and that's what we're going to do upcoming now is we're going to fill up our cups with some movement. We're going to fill up our cups with some Qigong. We're going to fill that cup up. So somebody comment in the chat, I'm filling my cup up. I'm filling my cup up, baby. All right, so with all of that being said, we're going to start the day with some Qigong. And those of you who really is empowered by this session, remember, if you want to join this, go to holisticlifestyletribe.com where you can join the community and get access to this. No more Monday and Fridays for the free and stuff like that, right? You're going to have to kind of join it. And from time to time, I'll go live and give y'all, let y'all tap in, chime in. So go to holisticlifestyletribe.com if you want to join. So with that being said, we're going to start with Qigong. We're going to start with the anatomy drumming. Our organs are depleted or empowered. Our heart is depleted by sadness or it's empowered by joy on the left side. Your lung is depleted by grief or it's empowered by honor, right? On the three chambers on the right, 2 chambers on the left. Your kidneys is depleted by fear or it's empowered through courage. Your spleen is depleted. Your spleen is depleted by worry, or it's empowered with having faith that the Creator is going to be there for you, right? Your liver is depleted by anger, or it's empowered when you are extending more compassion, things of that nature, right? When you're more attentive, when you're more communicative. Okay, so our organs are either depleted or empowered. But we gotta say, I'm filling my cup up every single day. So with that being said, we're gonna start with some Qigong exercises to get our day growing in a positive direction. And let's start with the Qi dance. When we do the Qi dance, it's called anatomy drumming because we're drumming our organs, and from our palm, Lao Gong, we're emitting Qi at the same time. When we touch and drum, we bring energy to those various organs, okay? So that's why we do the Qigong, filling our cups up every single day. So let's get it started. So find somewhere where you could stand up and do this. If you're watching, find somewhere where your chi's not blocked. You can stand up and do this with me. Okay? Let's get this party on the road. Let's get this party started.
Shake your hands, move your cheek.
Shake your hands, show me what you're working with. Shake your hands, move your cheek. Shake your hands, show me what you're working with. Drum the sky, side to side. Qigong, side to side. Now drum the sky, side to side. Qigong, side to side. Now drum the earth. Break up the stagnation in your wrist. This breaks up stagnation in your wrist. Controls your blood pressure. Now shake them to the side. Now we throw away negative energy. Now shake them to the side, side to side. Qigong, side to side. Bounce the heel, shake them up, move your cheek. Shake them up, show me what you're working with. Shake them up, move your cheek. Shake them up, show me what you're working with. Now lean back. Now drum your lungs, side to side. Qigong, side to side. Now drum your lungs, side to side. Qigong, side to side. Now lean forward. Now drum your kidneys, side to side. Qigong, side to side. Now drum your kidneys, side to side. Qigong, side to side. Now thump your chest. Time is thump. Qigong, side to side. Now thump your chest. Time is thump. Qigong, now sacral pump, side to side. Qigong, side to side. Now sacral pump, side to side. Qigong, side to side. Now right hand jing, left hand chi. Right hand shin, left hand chi. Right hand jing, digestive, reproductive. Left hand chi, life force energy. Left hand chi, jing, chi, shin, chi, jing, chi, shin, chi, jing, chi, shin, chi, jing, chi, shin, chi. Heart on the left, lung on the right. Right liver underneath the ribcage, left spleen. Right kidney, left kidney, jing, chi. Heart, lung, liver, spleen, right kidney, left kidney, jing, chi. Heart, lung, liver, spleen, right kidney, left kidney, jing, chi. Heart, lung, liver, spleen, liver, liver, spleen, liver. Right kidney, left kidney, right kidney, left kidney, jing, chi. Jing, chi. Heart, lung. Heart, lung. Liver, spleen, liver. Liver, spleen, liver. Right kidney, left kidney, right kidney, left kidney. What? Jing, chi. Jing, chi. Heart, lung, liver, spleen, liver, liver, spleen, liver, right kidney, left kidney, right kidney, left kidney, jing, chi, jing, chi, heart, lung, liver, spleen, right kidney, left kidney, jing, chi, heart, lung, liver, spleen, right kidney, left kidney, jing, chi, heart, lung, liver, spleen. Right kidney, left kidney, jing, chi, heart, lung, liver, spleen, kidney, chi, kidney, jing, heart, lung, liver, spleen, kidney, chi, kidney, jing. 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 Qigong. Qigong. Okay, so that's just a really fun way of doing Paida which is an old Chinese medicine, traditional Chinese medicine way of bringing vital chi to your organs. Loud gong, literally emitting chi. When we drum, we're waking the organs up. And we're also being conscious that we're not just flesh and bones. We have organs, right? We have energy circulating in our body. We have 3 fields, the Jing, the Qi, the Shin, right? Or Jing Qi, vital life force energy, right? And when we drum these various fields, we're sending not only a resonance and frequency to it, but we're literally drumming and waking up and bringing blood flow to those various organs, right? Yeah, it's fun, but why not make it fun, okay? Because I could have just went, okay, we're gonna tap here, we're gonna tap here, right? So my teacher has made a beautiful song to help you do that. So that's why we do these to music. So speaking of the Jing has to do with your digestive and reproductive. The Jing is what you eat, it's what you feel, it's your hormonal balance, right? So this next exercise is for the Jing, right? And it also helps build abdominal strength. It helps bring vital life force energy to the Jing area, right? We call it the stand-up sit-up. So you bend your knees, separate your arms, thrust the pelvic forward, right? So a lot of people don't know, but we have about 3 various diaphragms. Here, not only are we breathing in and using the diaphragm we're used to, which has to do with the breath, but we're also using the diaphragm in the sacral, right? We got the sacral pump. So when we bend, we're pumping as well. So here, you're exhaling, pushing the anus sphincter out, as if you're trying to use the bathroom. Like if you gotta use the bathroom, make sure you go first, right? And then here you're tightening, that's digestive. Now when you thrust, that's reproductive. So here, digestive, reproductive. Push it out, tighten it up. So separate your arm, then you're thrusting the pelvic. And then, right, somebody says we're thrusting, okay? So now what we're doing is we're bringing more blood flow to the testicles or the ovaries, based on whether you're male or female. Separate, then thrust. So now we're gonna add the chin into it. Bring your chin out, then tuck the chin in. So we start with the Jing because before the blood is influenced by the breath, you send vital minerals to the blood based on what you eat. So that's why it's very important what you eat. How you feel affects the movement of your blood as well, okay? So we'll do this part first. So this is for hormonal balance. Okay, now I'm gonna add a little extra details here. So you're gonna tighten the anus sphincter and the PC muscle. So the same things that help you excrete, which means let out your body, the foods that you eat, or the stuff that you don't need in your bloodstream, also lets out vital life force energy, we could call sexual energy, right? So the PC muscle and the anus sphincter work together. So peeing and pooing, digestive and reproductive, right? The same kidney that controls the final cleaning of the liquids also has to do with your sexual organs. So we're gonna tighten the PC muscle here and the anus sphincter muscle, and we're gonna let it go, pushing out. So it's like you're stopping yourself from peeing and stopping yourself from pooing, right? So for the guys, same thing. For the women, right? Same thing, right? You're tightening your PC muscle, right? And then you're tightening the anus sphincter muscle. So it's like you're trying not to pee and trying not to poo. This is gonna circulate your sexual energy or your Jing energy. We could also call this process anal rectal breathing. Now breathe in and breathe out as you do this. Breathing in, breathing out. We're doing the pump. We're breathing in, we're breathing out, and we're tightening and loosening all at the same time. Tightening and loosening, breathing in and breathing out. So it's not just movement, it's internal movement. So we cultivate the Jing, then we transmute the Jing into Qi, right? Just like we eat, and then you turn it into blood. And then with your breath, you turn it into Shen. Jing, Qi, and Shen. 3 fields. Separate, tighten. So this is part of the holistic approach. Conscious movement. Now we're gonna bring the feet together, okay? You're gonna step forward, step in, turn, step back. Step in, turn, step back. This is Qigong, which means life, mastering your life force energy. This exercise is good for hormonal balance. If you want to do this every day, go to holisticlifestyletribe.com. Step in, turn, step forward. Step in, turn, step back. Now change feet. Plant the left feet or the opposite feet, and you're going to do the other side. Tighten the anus sphincter in the PC muscle. Loosen the anus sphincter in the PC muscle. Breathing in, breathing out. Now you're gonna bring your feet shoulder width apart. Only turn at the waist. Contraction, tightening. Turn at the waist. Expansion. Tightening, turn, expand. Rising and priming, grand rising and priming, everybody, rising and prime. Holistic Lifestyle Tribe, holistic rising routine to start your day with the holistic motivator and the holistic lifestyle tribe. Okay. So now we have various energy channels, and one of them actually starts from the perineum, travels along the spine, and goes towards the root of the mouth, right? Another one goes on top, another goes from the other side, right? So this next exercise will free up the spine so the energy could travel, right? So it's not just physical, but it's also metaphysical. Okay, so this next one is called Barracombe Silk. So first, you shake your shoulders to the side. Breathing in, breathing out when you do this. So now, what you're doing is, you're scratching your back on a tree. Imagine you're scratching your back on a tree, lubricating the spine, vertebrae by vertebrae. And you're combing silk, which means you're throwing the arm and bending the elbow. And you're working your way up. So not only is the spine Put your tongue behind your two front teeth, which opens up the channel. It's like a lever or switch, right? So the energy can travel. I told you it comes from the perineum to the root of the mouth. So as we feel the arm, we're not just working the spine though, but we're working the heart, lung, and the pericardial meridian, which travels from the breastbone to the fingertips.
Universal healing, universal healing, universal healing, universal healing.
Once again, if you want to do this every day, you want to get in the holistic lifestyle tribe. Okay? You're just watching, just tapping in. Okay. Because I'm live, those of you watching, please make sure you like this video, subscribe to my YouTube channel if you're watching on YouTube, and share the video. I know, I'm doing a lot at the same time, so I gotta make sure I put all the cues in there. All right? It's called multitasking. All while staying zen. I got it though, effortlessly. Universal healing. Taking a holistic approach all 2023, baby. I'm not going for results. I'm gonna become a result. I'm gonna make all things work together for my greater good. The way I eat, the way I move, the way I breathe, the way I sleep, the way I communicate, the way I feel, the way I respond. I'm gonna make it my responsibility to choose how I respond to life. Okay, so we freed up the spine. Energy now is traveling from the Jing up, right? So now we're gonna do another one. We're gonna 10 more minutes and then we're done. Started a little late today, but we're just gonna do 30 minutes of Qigong. This next one, we're just gonna shake. Bounce your heels. Bounce your heel and then shake your arms. Shake off any negative energy. Don't get into the new year with old, stagnated, limiting, negative energy. Just bounce. Bounce your heels, shake your body. Shake your head. Let the blood flow to your brain. Swing your arms and step back with it. Palms facing up, so it looks like this. Just like this. Swing your arms. Moving your neck, looking behind you. Now jump with it, jump up with it. The calf serves as the second heart. Why? Because it pumps the blood back up from your legs. If you sit a lot, you need to activate your calves. So jump, bend the knees, get up, do the Kodak. It's like before, athletes go to a game, they would just jump up and down. Get the energy move. So we're gonna do the same thing. Get low. There we go. Arm shake. Shake to the side. Move your shoulders. One thing that's really good too is popping your chest. Pop your chest. Cave it in and pop it in. Pop your chest. Shrug your shoulders. Rotate them back. Rotate them forward. Shrug one at a time. Sway to the left, sway to the right. There we go. Pat your head, pat up your head. Scratch the side of your head. Drum the base of your neck. Tap your cranial. Okay. All right. So it's getting hot. My computer's getting hot. 4 more minutes. And now what we're going to do is we're going to do the microcosmic orbit. And then we're going to finalize it with that one. Once you get in the microcosmic orbit, circulates chi through all the meridians. Right? So even when we move fast, we don't get to move slow and do all the various slower movements that target all the various meridians by themselves. By just doing, shout out to you, Melinda. That's cool. How you feel after doing it? All right, the microcosmic orbit is actually one of the ones that we can do. If you don't do any of them, you just do one. That's still good. Once again, I was talking about transmuting your sexual energy. This is actually the one. This is the one to transmute that. Okay. So, and when you do Qigong, you don't actually want to drink liquids or water because it'll disrupt the Qi flow. Okay. So even if you're tired, don't drink water while you do the Qigong. It's not. Okay. So let's do the last one, microcosmic orbit. Remember this one, you can do it anytime throughout the day. Put it in your meditations. Okay. So you're gonna bring your arms out to the side. Okay. Yeah, my computer's gonna go overheated. You're gonna breathe in, pick up the Qi, and bring the Qi to the palms. Exhale, then to the face, then to the sky, and then back down. Bend, breathing in, breathing out. Somebody says, how long to water? Like, literally like 15 minutes. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, tighten the anus sphincter, breathe in. Exhale, release the anus sphincter, breathe out. Inhale. Exhale. Now we're gonna do one of the healing sounds for the heart. Breathing in, breathing out, breathing in. Make the sound. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Rise in Myra. Put your tongue behind your two front teeth when you do this. At the root of your mouth. Happy New Year, everybody. Happy New Year to you too, Queen. The palm, the face. Now we're gonna make a sound for the lungs, which is separate your arms a little wider and make the sound. out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Bring your feet together. Breathe in. Arms go to the side, to the back. Come off your toes. Then up. Exhale. Separate the arms. Bring your chin up 30 degrees. Tongue behind the two front teeth. Just bounce your chi. This balances the left and right sides. Breathing in, breathing out. Gripping the ground with your toes. Shifting your weight towards the instep. In other words, pronating. Soften your gaze. Relax your shoulders. And move the forearm, bouncing the chi. Tongue behind the roof of the mouth. Not now, but when you're done, let me know if you felt the chi bouncing in your palm.